I'm Mike Williams, the growth coach in Northern Virginia, and welcome to Thursday Talk. Today, I want to talk a little bit about emotional intelligence relative to leadership, relative to going back to work and going back in the office to work. I talk to a lot of businesses, and I know a lot of business owners, and a lot of businesses are wanting their teams and their employees to go back to work, and they want them to go back yesterday. And I get it. I know there's a lot more socialization and team building that you can do when you're back in the office. There's certain synergies that occur. So I get it. I get that there's a lot of reasons why you might want your employees back in the office. But there are some things that you are going to want to consider as you look at moving employees back in the office. First off, you're going to need to have a plan. You're going to need to have a process, and you're going to need steps towards moving people back in the office, because when you moved people out of the office and to remote locations, there were certain things that had to take place to be able to do that. And you've got things that need to take place before you move people back in the office. So don't just set a date that you're going to be moving back and having everybody come back to the office. Really have a plan and a strategy and steps to move people back in the office. Number two, you're going to want to talk to your teams, talk to your employees, and really listen to them to try to understand what concerns they may have, because there may be some obstacles as a leader that you can knock out of the way to allow your employees and your teams to come back to work. And then the third thing, give them time to transition. Again, as I mentioned, it took time to transition from being in the office to remote. It's going to take some time to transition. People have gotten used to getting up in the morning and not having to dress up to work. People have gotten used to walking their animals any time of the day. And so they've got to transition out of that. And you want to give people some time to be able to do that. And so those are the things that I think that you would want to consider. Number one, having a plan. Number two, listening to your team and employees and understanding what the concerns may be with the transition. And number three, giving your employees time to transition as opposed to just setting a date to go back. And I think that's great leadership. And that's having some emotional intelligence around what's going to take place. I'm Mike Williams. Everybody have a great week.